news and announcements. We're gonna head straight into My Hero Academia.
I mean,
oh my god, I was so close to crying, man.
I know, right?
You didn't cry? Oh,
bro, I was tearing up so hard. If they would have kept going for like a solid 2 more minutes of just emotional talking, I would probably just been bawling my eyes out, dude. It'd have been just as bad as Naruto saying bye to his dad. I was just dying.
I don't know if it's that kind of.
No, I don't think
it was pretty bad.
Listen,
man, how long has this show been out? Like 3-4 years now? Or some shit.
This is year 4.
When you get news that this man probably has like some sort of terminal ill sickness, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna die within the next 2 years," it's like, bro, that's hard hitting. All right.
You already know it was gonna happen in season 1. Like,
yeah, you knew, but you didn't know it wasn't gonna happen that fast. They didn't tell you the date. It's like, damn, dude.
It's been 4 years. I thought he was gonna die during the fight against All for One, right?
Yeah, he thought that too.
Guess what?
True that. But let's be real. How bad do you feel for this guy? You know, he's lost all this weight. He's got nothing to live for as it is. He fit that tracksuit of his.
Dude, but what about he has to live for Deku? It's basically his son at this point.
Yeah, apparently.
Let's be honest. Deku needs the catalyst of him dying to go into like ultimate mode. It's what's gonna happen. This is my prediction. Okay,
go ahead.
All Might walking in the street, some homeless drug addict. The baseball bat. I'll take that.
That's actually something. No, Taylor didn't say it exactly, but she's like, watch it. Like they're basically making it sound like some just random person's gonna kill him. Which basically, I just assume that's the equivalent of a homeless guy hitting him with a bat.
I think what's gonna happen is he's gonna come into contact with fucking Clean Freak, just get blown up.
Yeah, because they said he was gonna have like a gruesome end.
Yeah,
so I mean, like the only people I can think of a gruesome end is Overhaul. His ability is basically that.
Yeah, it's pretty OP, right? I don't think there's any way they can beat him without strategy, and All Might would have to be the guy to kind of set the ground as to how you're supposed to fight against him. So.
Why exactly would he be in the front lines, though? You know,
I mean,
they could probably fucked up.
And then fucking this man All Might says, "I have to save my son," and then jumps in, puts his hand in the way, and just blows up.
That's very depressing.
That really is.
Thanks, Brian.
Yep, no problem.
That's what I'm here for. Home, contemplating about life and how things have changed for him so drastically. He's reminiscing about his old friendship with Night Eye and how they used to have drinks. And then out of nowhere, he sees that like little unicorn girl who's been molested running around, and he's just like, "Oh no, let me help you, little girl." And she's like, "Get away from me!" And then as soon as he grabs her to save her, that guy's filthy hand touches him, or actually, I should say, very clean hand. Touches him. He's like, it worked.
Guys, we're laughing about All Might's death.
We're not laughing about his
possible death, I guess.
Listen, man, we're trying to honor his life. Okay,
right?
Let's celebrate the way he lived and not how he died.
Like getting killed by a homeless guy with a baseball bat, okay?
Yeah.
You know, if they really want to go for shock value, they should just have him kill himself. Be like,
taking his death in his own hands. My God.
Suicide is never a joke, sir. You take that back right now.
Dude, I'm just saying, man. Okay, picture this scene. He opens up a briefcase. He's like, "Damn it, Deku, this was a mistake." Smiley face.
This guy dark real quick.
Hey man, just saying, snafu.
But on a serious note, though, I actually think with like when you said like the catalyst for like he needs like All Might's death. I mean, I think like a catalyst. There are enough of a catalyst for Deku is actually just like having him survive or just surviving for each other type of thing. With I guess like most animes, I think would go the path of having like the catalyst as like the person's death. Hero Academia has actually been able to, I think, stay away from the norm. Because a lot of the times where I thought like with Bakugo they were going to become like a Sasuke thing, they went the complete different route with it. Which I was like, thank God you're not like actually sticking to like typical shonen stuff.
True, good point. I remember when they had the tournament, I'm like, oh man, another anime tournament. How many of these can you go this route? And then the fact that was it Bakugo that won it?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That
and he was pissed. And he was pissed.
I don't want this shit.
So that was fun.
But I feel like the way that gearing towards the end, it's going to be the death of All Might, right? Because what other catalyst will be strong enough for Deku to hit the next level?
God, you two.
The death of his mom.
You two.
I don't like. It's kind of sad to say, but I don't think they'll be as impactful as All Might dying, right?
Damn, that's fucked.
Whoa,
Shots-
man.
That's messed up.
R.I.P. Mom.
This is
You
this
made
guy's
really good rice
hero.
balls.
Okay, you gotta really think about it. All this focus on All Might and like Deku's relationship with All Might. It seems to be more close knit than him and his mom.
Yeah, that is.
Besides, as a teenage boy, I mean, in all honesty, you probably don't care as much about your mom as you would if
Jesus.
you were older,
Actually,
right? As a
the
teenage
Oedipus
boy, you didn't really
complex.
care about your mom, right?
The Oedipus complex says otherwise.
Why don't you
Hold on, Brian. You're
explain
gonna have to
that a little
clarify.
bit
I know what
further? Yeah.
Oedipus is, but please draw the connection here for me because I'm
Yeah,
severely
please.
lacking it. I feel like he just threw that out to say something. You're just like the Subaru complex theory.
Oh, yep. I got it. Yeah, if this yeah, it would fit.
Yeah,
But
but
this
for
is-
anybody
but this is-
listening, Oedipus basically bangs his own mom and kills his own dad. So I don't know where that connection was there. But
So what we're expecting to see then be like him saving his mom and just stabbing All Might in the back.
Yes.
That first date, it's over.
Yeah.
Okay,
basically.
here's a question. What if one of his well, I'm missing the term here. What if one of his classmates dies? Like, what if they're on a mission? And you know how Night Eye was telling him, like, don't be so cocky as to try to like step in and act on your own.
Yeah.
And maybe like they get into a confrontation with Chisaki on their own, like
Yeah.
usually happens. And then what if he could have prevented someone from dying on the team, and then that's the catalyst? Like, I could see that happening too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we didn't talk about like the opening scene, but what do you guys think of the opening scene?
Remind me, I'm totally blanking.
Well, it's basically when he ran into, as you put it, Unicorn Girl. And
oh yes.
Intense, and with all the talking in their heads.
that
it
was
was
that.
so
Yeah.
fast and so intense.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was ready to see somebody die because when
Jesus.
you start reading this level, I'm like, oh snap, this alley, this is very ominous. But then I love the fact that he went from that to one of his like schmucks being like, sorry boss, I just took my eyes off her. And it's like, blah!
Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
There's no 6 month review of like, hey, you need to do a better job paying attention to little girls. Yeah.
So what happened to the last guy that took your job, or that you're taking his job? Just
Yeah.
to let you know.
Yeah. The
But
high
I
turnover
agree,
rate.
very intense scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
Every
I was
time-
like, go ahead.
I was gonna say every time Deku opened his mouth, I kind of cringed a little bit more, thinking, "Oh God, what is he gonna say?" Until he finally just owned Togata, and he was like, "I would be more suspicious if I didn't say anything." I was like, "Good job, Deku."
Yeah, I feel like they played out that scene fairly well, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like Deku wasn't just like spouting out with his emotions; he was actually thinking about it as well as he kept
Mhm.
talking. Like, yeah, if you're a hero, you just kind of like kept quiet, you would make it too suspicious. So I felt like
Yeah.
he was actually better than Togata at this point.
It was also
Yes.
really cool too when like when the sentences were kind of just like flowing together. Where like I don't know exactly when it happened, but it's just like it would go to Deku. He would say a few words, then it would go to Togata, and then he would say a few words, and it just kind of kept going off, and it just fit perfectly.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would try to picture like Naruto or Luffy in that situation, and you just know Luffy, he's known for just carrying out what's on his mind, going into the situation completely wrong-handed.
Yep.
So that wouldn't have worked. And then Naruto would probably just been like, I'm gonna turn into Ninetales and see what I can get away with. So it's great to actually see like a thinking protagonist. Not that I don't enjoy those two characters by any means, but
Yeah.
I think that's the difference between my hero. It's like this insecure introvert guy who is sitting there and like, damn, what do I do?
Yeah, the whole scene was just awesome. I mean, I completely kind of like we kind of just skipped over it, but the whole like scene was definitely intense.
Hmm.
Going back
I'm very
to
curious-
what
Go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. I was gonna say, going back to what a catalyst might be for Deku to really kind of finally step it up. I know that All Might dying might be something that could do that, but I kind of feel like that torch was passed on during that big fight last season when Deku when he said Deku's next. And I kind of feel like if it was another classmate, that's not necessarily somebody that he's responsible for. It's somebody that trained alongside him. But I kind of am excited to see what's going to happen with this Eddie unicorn girl, because the opening song or the opening scene like ends with them out reaching their hands towards each other. I feel like she's going to have a pretty major arc that impacts him. I don't know. That's just my theory going forward.
Yeah, he already kind of regrets how the whole situation played out as well.
Yeah, he seemed really connected to her there.
Yeah, I mean, he's like it showed like flashes of when he's just going through his like daily work at school, and he's just terrible at everything right now.
Mm-hmm.
The guy can't even swim.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see that too, right? I guess, like, I kind of want to relate it back to, say, Dragon Ball Z for Gohan, right? Imagine Deku as Gohan, and
All right, Brian, I need you to visualize this.
I'm visualizing, dude, and I feel it 100%.
Okay.
right.
Wait.
So-
Gohan with an Oedipus complex?
Go ahead.
Actually, with Chi-Chi,
Something
yeah,
like that.
maybe. God damn. Yeah, but maybe he's Gohan, and I'm always picturing just like Android 16 Catalyst, right? Like he had to sacrifice himself, and he had to open up Gohan's eyes before he can transcend a Super Saiyan 2. So, I always say it's All Might, but yeah, now that you mention it, I think it might be the Unicorn Girl as well, because maybe she's like the Android 16 that opens up his eyes, says, "Hey, you can't save everyone. You need to go past your limits." So. I can picture her dying and setting off Deku.
Yeah, especially because she's like one of the first, if not the first, to ask him for help. Like she latched onto him and asked him for help.
Right. It'll be the first. It'll be the first person that he couldn't save as a hero, right? Since this is his first task as a hero, so.
Yeah.
Well, I think everyone's spot on about this girl being very important. I'm curious to see what her power is. Obviously, she's being held on to for a reason, and she hasn't been killed yet. So, we're going to see how this plays out. But like you guys mentioned, very emotional scene, especially you're talking about a kid probably being abused, tortured, and I bet you Deku's a very like emotionally sensitive guy, and he probably felt something there, which is why immediately he's just like, I got to protect her. But either way, I think the common theme amongst our conversation is somebody will die.
oh yeah,
True.
It's a matter of who, especially with Chisaki, man. That guy, I don't know. I love the flair he's brought to the show. Like the other villains, I was like, Stain was pretty cool too, but he was kind of an idiot. He's just like, yeah, look at these knives. I kill people. I was like, okay, man. But
Do you think this guy? I'm sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead.
no, sir, please.
I was just gonna ask you. Do you think he follows like the way like that Stain followed? Where because he makes like the comment about how like the hero complex, and I think Stain was always talking about that as well.
Yeah, I think that's a common theme amongst villains in general. It's,
Okay.
They are anti whatever the hero's beliefs and values are. So we'll see. But Chisaki seems like much more of a thinker compared to Stain, because Stain looked like he had some plan, but he's just limited in planning ahead. He's just like, yeah, I'm just by myself.
Yep.
Whereas-
Terrible move.
Yeah, you look at Chisaki, what he's done so far. He's made his own team, and then he realizes, you know what? In order to overpower these guys, I got to combine with another team, even though I don't want to. So he sees a greater purpose, and he's kind of one step ahead of everybody. So
Right.
we shall see, but very, very interessante.
Well, he's backed by old school organized crime. It'll be interesting to see how his team fits in with the other.
Yeah, I think the only reason they're working together, it's like the enemy of my enemy is my best friend. And so that's the whole reason he's able to stomach them. But I guarantee you, if he had the power, he would take out those scrubs too. Like he probably hates Itchy Hands guy.
yeah.
They hate each other. Do any of you guys believe though that Overhaul that's his daughter?
No.
Yeah, probably not. No.
Over.
Overhaul
yeah.
or Chisaki, sorry. It's Chisaki Overhaul, I think is his name. Like,
Oh,
villain name?
Got it.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't remember his like first name, so I was just calling him Overhaul.
Got it. But that's his daughter?
Yeah, because he makes it like a just a comment and said like, "Oh, sorry about my daughter."
I think
I
he
don't
did that to play off the situation.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I'm just going by the like genetics that we learned back in high school biology. If he's got black hair and she's got white hair, like that's really highly unlikely. But I don't know, anime logic could change things around.
Hey, this is the hero quirk.
She may have a recessive gene. Okay, she could have
That's
gotten that trait.
Look how small she is.
Very judgmental, aren't we?
All right, I think we're good.
That's our job right now, is to be judging things.
Not little girls, man. Not high school biology. All right, just.
How does everybody feel about Togata so far? Does everybody like him? Does anybody have any opinions about him?
Man, I've loved the guy ever since I first showed him.
That guy is the best. Just straight power.
His eyes are too small, man.
All right.
Wow.
All right.
So judgmental.
You can't help it. That's his
No,
quirk.
no.
I still think he's creepy too.
Yeah,
You
that's
think he's
creepy as
creepy?
fuck, dude. His
Like
eyes
when
are
he was
way too
introduced
small.
last season, like just even though he was like peppy and cheery, he just seemed so creepy.
He
Especially
seems
when
too
he's like hiding in the
happy.
walls.
Just
I'm
wait
gonna
till
make a
you.
call. Super happy guy, does the right things, very powerful. Seems like he has everything lined up for him. Brutal death. I think he's gonna have a brutal death.
Is that the tone that Hero
Apparently,
Academia is set?
everybody dies in Sasha's.
Listen,
I mean,
I'm
I can kind of
sensing
see
it.
that, right?
Isn't 4 an unlucky number in subculture? I think that's the culture
Yes.
that's influencing the season.
Yes, but the author didn't write the manga with knowing that this was season 4, so
Maybe it's all been planned. It's all
Maybe.
been planned out.
also I
It's
just
set
want
up.
to say I think you're overthinking about the daughter thing.
Yeah, I don't think it was that big of it. Like, I was just wondering what you guys thought. I was asking people's thoughts, man. Don't worry.
Alright.
We all
Who's
have
excited
different
for
opinions.
episode Kirishima next week?
I'm actually excited. That guy's awesome.
I hope they give more backstory to him because I really don't care about him at all.
My God.
Oh, dude, that guy's awesome. He's,
See,
a,
exactly.
he's a Red Riot, right?
Yep.
He's
Yo,
Bakugo's
I'm so
best
ready.
friend,
When I saw that preview, I was like clapping. I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
Finally, dude. This dude just gets hard all the time. Let's go.
That's what she
I get
said.
hard all the time. Praise for that, alright? So,
Whoa. This is a family-friendly podcast, Taylor.
listen,
All right,
man, I
calm
remember
down.
10th grade, being on the school bus. Everyone's wondering, why are you on the school bus in 10th grade? Shut the hell up. Morning rides, almost every time. Just like a soft, warm rumble of the bus turning on and taking you across the road. Yo, man, I would just be like, what's his name? Kirishima? All right, man. Yeah, I would be... But I actually agree with David on this one. This guy's a horrible character. Like,
Jesus.
Well, it's like the only people who matter in the class is just it's Todoroki, Bakugo, and Deku.
Hey, man, he's Bakugo's punching bag, all right? He needs.
Yeah, so he's already not one of the main characters.
He's
I
a
don't know, he
character
played
enough,
pretty good.
right?
He played pretty good comedic backup in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Bakugo.
He's like the equivalent of Lee in Naruto, all right?
Whoa.
Whoa.
I don't know about that.
There's one man that takes offense to that statement in this group.
listen, sir, when Lee had his surgery, I was in shambles. I said, I don't know if this guy's gonna die. Is he gonna walk again? If this little boy had surgery, I'd be like, man, fuck this guy. Stop wasting time.
That's fucked up, dude.
Dude, I'm just come on, man. You can't. I'm sorry, Brian. I gotta call you on that comparison. So
Bro,
that one hurts my heart.
fair enough.
You know,
Fair enough.
but I still got love for you, bro.
Thanks, man. Same.
Brian, just train in Taijutsu and we'll forgive you.
Work on it.
Is there anything else we had for My Hero Academia?
No, I think that was it.
I don't think so.